Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And it looks like there's still a chance that Paramount might wind up with Warner Brothers. Apparently the board is going to reconsider their offer, and we'll talk about that. But the real story here is just how angry far left media is about this, because they do not like the Ellisons at all.
Well, no, I don't think that's the only story, but yeah, that's definitely part of it. But Hollywood doesn't know what they want. They don't want Netflix to have it, but they don't want Paramount to have it. They want everything to stay the same, but that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. It's not viable. That's basically it. They want everything to stay the same way that it's been for the last 10 to 12 years, which has led us to this place right now where Hollywood is no longer viable and it's being sold for scrap to tech companies.
Because they want control.
Because they want control. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you'll get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
So let's talk about this. So this just dropped, I think, last night, and it's weird because we actually said that Paramount might actually wind up walking off with Warner Brothers.
Mm-hmm. And I guess, the board, here's what I look at it. Hollywood's losing their crap, and Hollywood doesn't want them to sell it to either one, but they definitely doesn't want it to go to Netflix. But Paramount just offered a bunch more, stuff with it would be more money, sweeten the pot. And the board is going to be like, well, okay, now this is a good deal. I don't want to pass on it, but we can maybe make it look like, oh, we're doing it to save Hollywood.
Yeah.
Paramount, but then we're still gonna cash out at the same time.
So here's where it gets really really sticky, because I do believe 100% that the best shot for Hollywood is for Paramount to get Warner Brothers, because they're still a movie studio with a commitment to theatrical.
I don't care either way, to be completely honest with you. I'm like enjoying them all losing their shit.
Well, yeah, the worst case scenario, I really do feel Netflix, because for all their pillow talk about, oh yeah, it's fine, guys, we're going to keep a theatrical window. I don't believe them for a minute. I think as soon as the ink dries, they're going to change their tune. I think they're going to probably sell off some stuff, or just, mothball IP. But again, David Zaslav wants his Discovery shit. He wants it,
Yeah.
Whereas Paramount wants everything. But Hollywood's having a temper tantrum because there is no winning for them. It's either they go to Netflix and they lose a whole bunch of theatrical releases, most likely, and there's more consolidation, or they go to Paramount and they don't like the politics of the Ellisons because they like Trump. So
Is that meme with the button? Which one do you push and he's sweating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to wonder, if you did the video yesterday talking about how more and more celebrities are staying out of politics, I have to wonder if they aren't doing that, just realizing that the winds are changing, and they're like, yeah, you know what? There's a chance if I want to work for Paramount, Warner, whatever, that I need to shut my mouth up and just
who knows?
I just
think that more people need to stop talking.
More people should stop talking more often. Yeah. So this is coming from the New York Post. This is what the deal is currently. Warner Brothers might have to take David Ellison's barely sweetened offer for the media giant after all, the Post has learned. As we reported last week, the firm known as WBD, that controls the iconic Warner Brothers studio, HBO Max streaming service, and cable properties like CNN and Discovery, has been under massive pressure to reopen the entire bidding process and consider a sweetened offer from Paramount Skydance. That in turn could upend its nearly sealed $72 billion deal with Netflix for the studio and streaming service, and force it to reconsider the bid by Paramount for all of its operations. Remember the Disney Comcast fight over Fox, and people thought Comcast had it, and really it was Comcast just playing Disney, trying to get them to spend as much money as possible. But I think there's actually a very good chance. Its decision is expected imminently. People close to the matter say if Warner Brothers does reopen the process, it will have less to do with the recent barely enhanced offer by Paramount, where it didn't increase its all-cash $78 billion bid, other than agreeing to cover a breakup fee to walk away from Netflix. More at issue, as previously reported by the Post, is the guarantee of intense regulatory pushback by the antitrust cops in the Trump administration, not just on the deal itself, where Netflix is layering the top of the streaming service with the number 3 largest in HBO Max, but also scrutiny coming down hard on Netflix itself. Yeah, that grilling that they had a week or so ago did not make Netflix look good.
No.
I mean, I think some of the senators were over the top but they were basically like, hey, yeah, so what kind of guarantee do we have that you're actually going to leave the movies in theaters for more than a couple of weeks? What guarantee do we have that you're not going to take Warner Brothers and make a bunch of gay cartoon shows like you've been doing over on Netflix? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I said when this whole thing started that Trump will find a way, even if it's by proxy, to get CNN into the hands of the Ellisons. I think that's what he wants.
Well, I don't know, but he wouldn't surprise me. He said he was going to stay out of it, but
he says he's going to stay. He's going to stay out of it. Doesn't mean his underlings aren't. I'm just saying we knew it was going to be a lot harder because look, at Paramount right now, to get that deal through, they had to put a person in charge who's basically there to oversee the content. He was a content cop for the Trump administration. So, getting Netflix through with more was going to be a lot harder.
But here's the problem, though. I mean, yeah, but here's the problem. It's like when you have someone that's like a quote unquote content cop and it's only they already sided with them once. You can't be siding with them again and again, or it's going to look really, really bad.
Well, does it matter how it looks? Because that's not how corporate America works. That's not how politics works. It's just, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I think this is probably what's going to happen. I think what's going to happen is they're going to make it as difficult as possible for Netflix to close the deal, and the shareholders are going to get antsy, and they're going to be like, oh, meanwhile, we can streamline Skydance and Paramount. We can make sure that thing goes through, in a week or two. But this Netflix, that's going to be like
just a week or two. That's the thing.
Well, a couple of months. I think it would be. I think
Netflix
it would go
was
through
the
a
faster one. Not on regulations, but as far as the converting it over, because they weren't going to be. Now, I guess Paramount did change it to. Did they change it to all cash too? No, Netflix did. Netflix did.
I think they're both all.
Paramount
cash
was
now.
all cash. Okay, but they said there were some reasons that Paramount would take longer, but I can't life me remember what they were. But I know that they didn't really want the Paramount to get it because they wanted to keep Discovery separate. But
that would be Zaslav. So I think Zaslav and Sarandos have a thing going on. They had a thing going on before.
I don't know. I know the board's probably like whatever's going to make us the most money and get through, and we can get out of this and move on is probably what they're looking at.
Well, it'd be easier in the regard that everything would go to Paramount. It wouldn't be like we have to split it up and start another company and then yada yada yada. It'd be like, no, here, just take everything. So I don't know.
If you're a board member for Warner Brothers Discovery and everything goes to Paramount, at least when you had Discovery, you'd still have a board that would be Discovery. But now you're going to Paramount, the board would be like completely gone.
Oh, they don't care. That was the plan. The whole time that Zaslav was there, the plan was to get this thing ready to sell.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying it's like weird that they're trying to keep part of it now. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Honestly, I just don't really care who gets it. I just want somebody to get it so we can stop talking about it. But Hollywood's meltdown is what's funny. They are losing their shit. Either way, they're mad. But when it comes to the Paramount thing, they're even more angry. They're being ridiculous because they want to control. It's about control. And they'll get DC.
They'll get DC Comics. They'll get CNN. So let's look at this.
CNN is a big one. Yeah.
Let's look at this ridiculous article from Pajiba. They're very angry about it because these people are like, well, Netflix has got. They weren't happy about Netflix either. There is no good scenario for Hollywood. There is no more status quo. It's over. Hollywood, and the reason we're here, I just want to reiterate, the reason that we're here is everybody thought they could compete with Netflix. Everybody overspent on dumb shit that nobody watched, and now they all have to sell themselves off.
Pretty much, which we said was going to happen from day one. When they all started announcing they were all going to do their own streaming services, we said it's going to Highlander just like the blogs did, and that's exactly what happened. Yep.
So David Ellison has come from Pajiba, which somehow is still in business. I don't know if business is really, I don't see any ads on it, so I don't know if business is really what it's in. It's still publishing. David Ellison may get what he wants as Warner Brothers reconsiders Paramount offer. It's a very short and very bitter article. All hail the great and powerful David Ellison. As someone whose forehead is also exceptionally large, I think the fact that his forehead looks like you can project an entire movie in VistaVision on it is pretty fantastic. His lack of eyebrows, that's merely a looks-maxing fashion choice.
So wait. They're mad, and their whole beginning of the article is making fun of his appearances, which they complain about if you disregard their arguments by making fun of them.
You may scoff at his efforts to buy Warner Brothers and call them whiny, and honestly, how dare you? Because guess what? It's working, y'all. Warner Brothers is set to announce that it is reconsidering the Ellison family's hostile takeover, according to Deadline. The company had initially agreed to terms with Netflix, but like most white men with money and a sense of entitlement, David Ellison did not take no for an answer. Instead, he's showing that leadership requires courage, passion, and the ability to tap in your dad's human hunting fund to add to your initial bid. Can that be verified? Can we verify it? Can we fact check that?
It wouldn't surprise me, honestly.
But Netflix just didn't have the juice, you guys. Paramount isn't out here trying to get beta cucked by a CEO who looks like a haircut in search of a man. If Ted Sarandos really wanted Netflix to close the deal, he would have simply asked his daddy to give him an extra bump. The mere fact that he didn't shows that he isn't well equipped enough to get the maximum value for his shareholders year over year. Look, all of this is going to lead to layoffs because you can't make a blood diamond encrusted omelet without breaking a few eggs, preferably those of the person who made you that expensive egg dish. But ask yourself, if you're staring down the barrel of an all-hands Zoom meeting, do you want to get told your kids might not get Christmas presents by some dweeb who is allergic to movie theaters or one who looks like a freshly waxed surfboard above the eyes? You know the answer.
This guy is oddly obsessed. Is it a guy or girl? I don't know. They're oddly obsessed with this person's appearance.
Guy.
Oddly, I mean, I don't think he's going to sleep with you. He's just really, really obsessed. Like, you take out all his digs about them being rich and his forehead, and this article could have been like 2 sentences.
I know, right? Everything's awesome, dude. Superman will soon join up with the Ninja Turtles to do PSAs about why you shouldn't interfere with ICE agents. The media landscape will get smaller, thank God. Scores of people will get a lot more free time on their hands to pursue hobbies like scrounging for food out of dumpsters to ensure their family can eat. And maybe, just maybe, Larry Ellison will say the words, "I love you" to a certain special someone who's been a very good boy.
Who, you? I'm just like, look, okay, people, this is stupid. So we're losing control. Oh my God, guys. Superman and Ninja Turtles, they're going to be owned by him. So they're going to make PSAs about, pro-ICE PSAs, and dogs and cats will be together. And, people are going to be, dumpsters because the market's going to shrink. The market went to shit because you're all out there striking. You were demanding the moon. You're demanding, writers' rooms. You're demanding all this shit. Told you then. Told you and said, all you're going to do is shrink the market. They're going to be fewer. The ones that remain will get what they want, but there'll be fewer of you because they're just going to cancel a bunch of shit. And there's, because you're all too expensive and you're all too whiny. So if you're picking out of dumpsters, it's because you didn't get a clue and find a better job or go someplace else into another industry when you saw this coming. It's been 2023 now. It's going on 3 years and you still didn't move or do something else.
Next year will be their year. Next year will be their year because they were survive until 25. Well, then they survived until 25, and they're like, okay, we'll get fixed in 26. And I'm like, are bank accounts going to go to heaven in 2027? I don't know.
It's just
I mean, look, this is unavoidable. This was always going to happen. It doesn't matter who buys it. Hollywood destroyed itself because it got too greedy. It thought it could, it would just outspend Netflix and be able to beat them. And they can't. They can't. And they all decided to do it at the same time. So they all compete against each other. And here we are.
Now, do I think that you have a bunch of rich people going around, acquiring everything and running things into the ground? Yeah, completely do think that. I mean, these stupid pop-ups are ridiculous. They had Skydance before this, so I don't know if they're going to be that dumb. But the two choices, if you wanted theatrical to be saved, if you wanted more jobs, Paramount was your better play. However, y'all are so ass mad because all you see is Orange Man. Look, there's his footprint right there. Orange Man bad. That's all you see. And so you just lose your shit. Even though this is the outcome that was the better outcome for what you wanted. If they do get to buy it instead.
This is the best shot Hollywood has to remain or to continue to operate somewhat normally because you've got Paramount and Warner Brothers together and Skydance. They're all theatrical focused, television focused. Where they're going to get pissed, and we're going to look at the comments, where they're going to get really pissed is if CNN gets folded into CBS News and they put Barry Weiss in charge of all of it.
Well, that's probably what would happen. They'd have to sell it off. Or they'd have to get rid of you're not allowed to have two.
Or something.
Yeah, you have to shut it down or sell it off. You're not allowed to have two. So that's likely what would happen. It would either get rolled in or they might just sell it off, to be fair. But I'm just like laughing at myself here, like, in my head, because these guys are like having this massive hissy fit because how dare they're rich and everybody's gonna be looking at dumpsters for food, and I'm like, have you seen Hollywood lately? Most people in Hollywood aren't the rich studio owners. Most people in Hollywood aren't the A-list celebrities. They said a lot of the actors, the majority of actors that are in the unions or writers in the unions are just scraping by enough time to even keep their insurance if they can get that much time. Most of them don't even make enough to do it. It's just nothing new, but you're like, oh no, he's going to buy it and we're going to be dumpster. Like, you already are.
Yeah.
Wine. I'm like, I don't fucking care what Hollywood does. But this is your best. This is your better of the two outcomes, honestly.
Now, this actually does kind of jive, though, with what we talked about the other day with animation, that they said that they thought they were laying a bunch of people off at Nickelodeon to shore up their capital so they could throw it at the Warner Brothers deal. So, they're basically just, whatever is not going to make money right now gets shut down.
They're just afraid they aren't going to be able to shove agenda into everything.
Yep. Let's see here. This person says in the comments, Barry Weiss, head of global programming and news CNN. I hate that she is one of us. We don't know her. God, almost punched my screen. Wow. Header photo swap to someone less hellish, please. The lesson of this era seems to be a bully because it works. No, the lesson of this era, Cal 61678, is your greed and entitlement led us to this place. That's the lesson of this era.
I'm confused what the lesson is because you guys didn't want Netflix to have it either. You were more mad about Netflix because you were worried more with Netflix. And now that Paramount's coming back around, now you're like, the lesson of this seems to be, and I'm like, you guys were mad about Netflix too. You weren't, neither option were ones you wanted.
Oh my God, this is insane. Okay, so this guy, this is just like, they're so mad. This person's like, can't wait to see how this is felt in society 10 to 20 years from now. All the kids growing up now learning that laws are for suckers. Bullying totally works.
You're just now learning that?
You're just learning it now. Compassion is weakness, and incel fascist values are A-OK. Also, they don't have Mr. Rogers. I'll agree with you on the Mr. Rogers. I'll agree with you on Mr. Rogers.
Okay, translation. I'm mad, so everyone's going to throw up the same words I keep hearing over and over and over. Incel, fascist, all this other stuff. The law thing, where have you been? Like the law, they haven't been beholden to the laws for years. How did all this stuff like with Epstein go under the radar so long? They all weren't beholden to the laws for years. They're not going to be beholden to the laws now. And it doesn't matter whether Trump's in office or Biden was in office or Obama was in office or Clinton was in office or Bush's were in office. It's been like this the entire time.
It's like, look, the rich get richer.
My modulator might have kicked in there. So.
Okay, so this guy, like, he's full on organizing a protest in the comments.
Knock yourself out.
The biggest disappointment for me is the acceptance by the general population that this is the new normal. No, this is how things work for a long time. The general population doesn't
care. They don't give a shit. They're tired of your shit. They don't really effing care.
There's not nearly enough pushback by people. Voting with our dollars should be the first thing. I remember during the first Trump administration, there were tons of online groups and much more democratic organizations working together. A few of them created apps and online sources for people to track down what they were spending money on and what international conglomerates own the products they were using and the politicians and policies and the companies that voted for and support them.
Wait. But that works both ways, you dumbass. There's a lot of these companies that support both sides. So just FYI, a lot of people that are in power, they're all being supported by the same people. It's just we'll just call in favors for whoever wins.
Yeah, so that's that. I think that the pretense dropped when Trump won again, and we had all these tech companies that were throwing Trump and his followers under the bus for years. All of a sudden, we're like, we love the Trump. Yeah, here's the thing. CD player. This is coming from 8-track.
I'm guaranteeing they're like, what, 20 or 30?
Yeah, probably. This is the way the world actually works. It's the way the world has worked for a very, very long time. You were living in a fantasy bubble of about 10 years where you thought your activism actually made a difference. The reality is that your activism in a lot of cases was controlled by the opposition, another corporation pulling the strings to get what they wanted. That's the truth. The truth is, we're all being played. We're all being played.
For years, it's nothing new.
Both sides, like same thing.
Like, the laws are just set. I'm like, it's been like this for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it's not new.
It's just like they're like basically you need to check on your contacts and your friends' voting histories. Not got removed. We want our privacy. We want our privacy except for you.
Wait. What? You're supposed to be. You're supposed to check. Look at your friend's voting status and history and location.
That's why you have to. That's why you have to signal loudly on social media.
Threat, fucker.
Yeah, Twitter was the place for the resistance, and Musk and the right bought it, and the oligarchs are funding it, and they took it away from us. They're doing this with our media. Oh my! I have to blow this one
again,
up.
Dude. You don't own the media.
You don't own it unless you personally paid for it.
20-some-year-old 30 explains everything because you clearly haven't been around this earth long enough to know what a dumbass you sound like.
We can't bend over and accept it, yet that's exactly what we're doing.
I think that's what he. Honestly, I think that he likes to do that.
We must rally around each other like we did before and fight.
For
what we're doing isn't enough. The protests aren't enough. Online organizing. Okay. This is online organizing isn't enough. We have to do more.
Okay. For what? To do what?
What?
To do what? So that Paramount doesn't buy, Warner Brothers? If they don't buy it, Netflix is going to buy Warner Brothers. So to do what, dumbass? What's the end goal? What was his? Did he give reasons?
No, but I'm like, okay, you want to talk about people being weaponized to do crazy shit? It's this kind of rhetoric that weaponizes people to do crazy shit.
Why do people not care? Why is the general public not giving a shit? Because of people like you and your insanity. So you just start talking like that. They're like, oh, here's another one. Mute.
So this guy actually is replying, and he's not wrong. He said, unfortunately, most normies probably don't even know this is going on. No, they don't. They said they won't even notice until CNN starts spewing right-wing bullshit. No Democrat is going to be ruthless enough to...
It'll be a refreshing change from the left-wing bullshit.
What'll happen is if that happens, I mean, I hate to be that guy. I hate to burst your bubble. And I'm not a Fox News fan. I don't watch Fox News, but Fox News is the top news network right now. So if CNN starts sounding like Fox News, chances are the ratings will improve because the depressed...
Just go back to center. That's all you got to do. All you got to do is try to do your job and be fair in reporting and try to keep a centrist, not tell people how to vote. Just here's what's happening. You decide for yourself. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. How do you vote with your dollars when everything's being owned by the bad guys? Here's the thing.
Well, that's been going on for years. Oh my God. You guys are all like, 22?
Yeah.
No offense to my son.
People who were in the middle, people who were on the fence, people who were never political before, because everything has been politics for the last 8 or 9 years, they've actually been, I believe they've been pushed further right because they're like, yeah, well, these people are crazy because they spend all day, ranting and raving about every damn thing. And it's good to have ideals or whatever. But I'm telling you, as an old dog, this is the way the world has worked for centuries.
Not saying it's right, but it is the way it is.
And you're not going to fix it in this generation either.
Especially not like a nutter.
No, because you're actually undermining your own credibility and you're pushing people the opposite direction.
And no Democrat is going to be ruthless enough to force Paramount to go back to their old format the way this regime seems to think it can strong our media outlets into doing its bidding. Well, I'm sorry. I've been around for a while, and the last 4 years it was proven that people were on social media and stuff where they were deliberately silencing news stories about the pandemic, about laptops, about all that stuff by an administration. And it was proven. So I don't want to hear jack shit about that. And I'm like in the middle. And I think, you're absolutely insane. This really fascist shit. Do you guys, can you define fascism? Seriously?
No.
Because
No.
all you keep saying fascism, and I don't think you fucking know what the hell fascism is, okay? What you want them to do is more fascist than what you're saying. Every Republican candidate going forward will run on forcing media outlets to bend the knee to right-wingers. No, people just want the media to be fair, to report evenly. They're not. I'm sorry. That's why Fox starts going a little bit to center and everybody starts watching it instead.
Yeah.
They want media that's not going to be sitting there about propaganda machine 24/7. Just tell us what's going on. Let us decide for ourselves. And all you people want to do is you want to control everything and you want to control the narrative. This is just what we said. You're all losing your shit because you can't control everything. That's what this is all about. It's about you thinking you're losing control. That's at the end of the day. That's all of it.
Yeah.
Normies are sick of all your extreme shit on both sides.
You lived in a bubble. You lived in a bubble propped up by venture capital. Right, for years, and propped up by, we saw it firsthand. As soon as the money ran out, as soon as they cut the funding to a lot of these programs. All of a sudden, all these media outlets started to fold like a house of cards because they were not sustainable. Not enough people were watching or listening or reading or whatever. And so all the shit collapsed because there's not enough of you. There never has been. You were under the delusion that there was for like, a decade, and it's over.
Patty gets even better. The funny thing is CNN has never been liberal left leaning. Like hell it hasn't. There was a solid middle ground facts reporting news until Trump came into office.
No.
And, well, no, to a point. They were
in
always
the 1980s, maybe.
Yeah, and they used to be. When Trump came into office, you know why? Because all your batshit reporters and stuff who are all like anti-Trump, we're going to control the media. We got the seat anti-orange man bad over and over again. The reason you guys were all looking bad, and one of the reasons people aren't watching you is because of what happened with the election and the fact that you were caught like telling people stuff that wasn't even true. And then they're like, well, and now their shenanigans labeled them as liberal news because they're soft on Trump. They lost 2/3 of their audience. It's like, no, it's because everybody saw through their shit. That's why they CNN. It was a joke. If Fox was the parody for the far left, CNN was the poster child of parody for the far right.
Yeah.
You're full of shit, Patty.
Look, this is called rude awakening, and a lot of people, and this is the same with the animation people, and we get them too. We get called out on Reddit. Like, they just want everything to fail. And it's like, no, we're telling you how business works. We're telling you the reality of the situation is your Tumblr fanfics didn't bring any meaningful revenue to the company, and when they look for things to cut, guess what gets cut
I'm just
first?
not understanding what the fuck they want. Like, they're mad about, we can't have this happen, but then you're mad about Netflix too. You can't have that happen either. And it's like, no, they want to control everything, but it's not, the status quo is not going to stay.
It's not an option.
It's not an option. One or the other has to go, or has to get it. So the question is, do you want it to be Paramount, where you're probably going to have more guaranteed more jobs and stuff like that for theaters, or you got Netflix, who's saying that for now, but he's known to like say one, and change it later, and he might be for his first year or two hold true to that, but he might change it later. Either way, it's not going to stop the industry from shrinking, and that's happening regardless.
Yep. So there it is, guys. We'll see what happens. I expect a lot of screeching if Paramount does wind up getting it, but I don't think Netflix is going to be much better. I really don't. I think it's Hollywood's over. The way that we've done it, it's over.
When it comes to this shit, my fuck wells run dry.
Fuck wells. Is that like snack wells?
No, it's my fuck well. It's a song. It's like I have no fucks to give. My fuck well has run dry.
Oh, okay. It's like snack wells, but dirtier. Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up.
Yes.
All right. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.